The Zenith Collective was the undisputed arbiter of galactic order, a coalition of the galaxy's most advanced species. It had thrived for eons, maintaining balance through diplomacy, subtle manipulation, and, when necessary, quiet eradication of existential threats. They had seen countless civilizations rise and fall, some collapsing under the weight of their own hubris, others dismantled when their ambitions grew too dangerous. Humanity, the newest entrant to the intergalactic community, was proving to be an anomaly. From the moment they were granted membership in the Galactic Concord, humans had been a source of chaos. Their boundless curiosity and disregard for conventional wisdom upset every system they encountered. They ignored warnings about meddling with unstable technologies, argued over trivial matters during diplomatic summits, and disrupted trade routes with their insatiable desire for novelty. Worst of all, humanity's resilience and adaptability made them almost impossible to predict. When other species encountered challenges, they either conformed or perished. Humans, however, adapted in ways that defied logic. They didn't just survive adversity, they thrived in it. The Zenith Collective's council chamber, a vast, luminous sphere where representatives from each member species gathered, buzzed with frustration. This species is a ticking time bomb, growled Nvar, the hulking insectoid representative of the Drellic swarm. His mandibles clicked in agitation. Their reckless behavior will destabilize the entire Concord. They are resourceful, yes, added Tal, a sleek reptilian strategist whose emerald scales glimmered under the chamber's ambient light. But their very nature is disruptive. If left unchecked, they will spread their chaos across the galaxy. Several council members murmured in agreement. "What do you propose?" asked Romal, a crystalline entity whose voice resonated like a wind chime. "An overt attack would be unwise," Tal replied. "Humans are known for their defiance in the face of direct threats. They rally under pressure, turning adversity into strength. No, if we are to neutralize them, we must do so subtly. We must target something fundamental to their culture, something they hold dear but would never suspect as a weakness." The chamber fell silent as the council members pondered this. Finally, Tal spoke again, her voice sharp with certainty. "We poisoned their wine." The room erupted in a mix of confusion and intrigue. "Wine!" Nvar spat, his antennae twitching. "You suggest we attack them with beverages." "It is not as trivial as it sounds," Tal explained, her tone unflinching. "Wine is deeply ingrained in their history and culture. They use it to celebrate victories, mourn losses, and forge connections. By corrupting their wine, we can sow discord and weaken their social fabric without raising suspicion." She activated a holographic display, which showed a montage of humans raising glasses of wine in countless settings: weddings, diplomatic events, and casual gatherings. "This is no mere drink," Tal continued. "It is a symbol of unity. If we taint it with a biochemical agent, something that induces paranoia, hallucinations, and social dysfunction, we can destabilize them from within. They will suspect each other, not us." The council murmured approval. The plan was elegant in its simplicity. "What about their detection systems?" asked Romal. "We've already accounted for that," Tal said. "The agent will be designed to mimic naturally occurring compounds, making it undetectable by their primitive technology. It will spread slowly, its effects subtle at first. By the time they realize something is wrong, it will be too late." The vote was unanimous. The plan was set in motion. The deployment, executing the plan, required precision. The Zenith Collective had spent decades infiltrating Earth's infrastructure with sleeper agents and automated drones. These assets were activated to lace the biochemical agent into Earth's wine production at every level, from the vineyards of Napa Valley to the cellars of Bordeaux. The agent itself was a masterpiece of alien biochemistry. It targeted the human nervous system, subtly disrupting neurotransmitter balance. The effects varied. Some would experience paranoia, others hallucinations, and still others irrational aggression. Over time, these symptoms would amplify, leading to widespread societal collapse. In the collective's war rooms, analysts monitored Earth with growing anticipation. Surveillance drones captured the first signs of the poison's effects. In a small town in Italy, a vintner reported that his customers were behaving unusually after drinking his latest vintage. They laughed uncontrollably, sang off-key songs, and danced in the streets. In California, a sommelier described strange patterns emerging in wine tastings. Tasters claimed to see vivid colors in the flavors, as if the wine were painting pictures in their minds. Some burst into tears. Others erupted into fits of uncontrollable giggles. Within weeks, similar reports poured in from around the globe. Humanity's relationship with wine was changing, but not in the way the collective had anticipated. Unexpected consequences. The collective had expected humanity to fracture under the strain of paranoia and hallucinations. Instead, they observed an entirely different phenomenon: celebration. Videos flooded human social media platforms. In one clip, a group of college students in New York had turned their dormitory into an impromptu nightclub, complete with strobe lights and music. The caption read, "This wine is magic. #WildWine." In another video, a farmer in Argentina demonstrated how he could balance a wine bottle on his head while riding a llama. His neighbors cheered him on, glasses in hand. The poison wine became a global sensation. Trendy bars advertised it as the new experience in intoxication. Influencers posted tutorials on how to pair the wine with exotic foods to enhance the trip. People even claimed that the hallucinations had artistic or spiritual significance. The Zenith Collective watched in stunned silence as humanity embraced the chaos. This was not supposed to happen, Var hissed, his mandibles snapping in frustration. "They're not collapsing," Tal admitted, her scales dimming with embarrassment. "They're thriving." "How is this possible?" Romal asked. "The neurotoxin should be dismantling their cognitive functions." "Humans are unusual," Tal said reluctantly. "They seem to possess an innate ability to turn adversity into opportunity. It appears that, instead of breaking under the strain, they are using it to fuel their creativity and social bonds." The collective's analysts scoured their data for answers. They reviewed human history, searching for clues to this baffling resilience. What they found only deepened their confusion. Humanity, it seemed, had a long tradition of consuming substances that other species would consider toxic. They brewed potent liquors, distilled spirits that could peel paint off walls, and consumed fermented beverages with alarming enthusiasm. Many of these substances caused hallucinations, altered perceptions, or induced temporary madness, and yet humans treated them as integral parts of their culture. The poison wine was not humanity's downfall. It was merely another chapter in their long history of intoxicating experimentation. Conclusion: as the months wore on, the Zenith Collective faced an uncomfortable truth. Their plan had failed. Humanity was not only surviving the poison wine, they were thriving in ways the collective could never have predicted. "We underestimated them," Tal admitted during a somber council meeting. Humanity's greatest strength is not their technology or their adaptability. It is their ability to embrace chaos and turn it into something beautiful. The council agreed. The plan was abandoned, but the poison wine remained, now a symbol of humanity's resilience and ingenuity. In the end, the collective learned a valuable lesson. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. They thrived where others faltered, finding strength in adversity and unity in the unlikeliest of places. Months after the Zenith Collective laced Earth's wine supply with their carefully engineered neurotoxin, the effects were spreading across the globe. Alien analysts eagerly awaited the fallout. Reports from surveillance teams trickled in: laughter, erratic behavior, and increasingly bizarre incidents. On the surface, it appeared the plan was working. Humanity seemed to be unraveling, its once coherent social fabric beginning to fray. But the unraveling didn't follow the predicted trajectory of chaos and collapse. Instead, humanity appeared to be thriving in this altered state. The poison wine hadn't dismantled human society, it had invigorated it. The first signs. In Tuscany, the heart of Italy's winemaking tradition, an annual wine festival turned into a spectacle unlike anything seen before. Traditionally a quiet, elegant affair, the festival was now a cacophony of music, dancing, and spontaneous performances. Local reporters described scenes of revelry that bordered on madness. Vintners singing operatic arias, attendees forming impromptu conga lines through vineyards, and even priests blessing barrels of wine, while giggling uncontrollably. People just seem happier, one reporter noted in her broadcast. It's like the wine has unlocked something primal and joyous in all of us. Similar stories emerged from France, California, Argentina, and South Africa. Vineyards reported unprecedented sales as people clamored to buy the magic vintage. The poison wine had become a cultural phenomenon, with connoisseurs and amateurs alike declaring it the best wine of the century. The rise of wild wine, social media, humanity's preferred medium for spreading trends, was soon ablaze with posts about the wine. The hashtag wild wine went viral, with millions of people sharing their experiences. Users described vivid hallucinations that enhanced their appreciation of art, nature, and even everyday life. One viral video showed a young woman in Paris sipping wine at a cafe. "I just drank this amazing Bordeaux," she said, her eyes wide with wonder. "And now the Eiffel Tower is shimmering in rainbows. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." Another clip featured a group of friends in Argentina hiking through the Andes with bottles of wine strapped to their backpacks. "We can hear the mountains singing," one of them exclaimed. "This wine connects us to the universe." Bars and restaurants capitalized on the craze by offering wild wine nights, where patrons could sample the new vintage and share their surreal experiences. Sommeliers, who were initially baffled by the wine's effects, began crafting elaborate tasting notes to describe the hallucinations. Hints of cherry, oak, and a sense of cosmic unity. One sommelier wrote about a particularly potent bottle. Pairs beautifully with stargazing and existential reflection. The collective's growing unease. In the Zenith Collective's war rooms, the mood was anything but celebratory. Analysts pored over reports from Earth, trying to make sense of humanity's unexpected reaction to the poison wine. "This was supposed to destabilize them," growled Nvar, his mandibles twitching in frustration. "Instead, they've turned it into a celebration." "It's baffling," admitted Romal, their crystalline body dimming with confusion. "The neurotoxin should be inducing paranoia and social fragmentation. Why are they bonding instead?" Tal, the mastermind behind the plan, studied the data in grim silence. She replayed surveillance footage of humans dancing, laughing, and creating art inspired by the wine. "They're not responding like any other species we've encountered," she said. "They're embracing it, adapting to it." The collective convened an emergency meeting to discuss the situation. "We underestimated their relationship with intoxication," Tal explained to the council. "For humans, consuming mind-altering substances isn't just a vice. It's a cornerstone of their culture. They use it to connect, to create, to find meaning in chaos. Our neurotoxin has become a tool for their resilience." "This is unacceptable," Nvar snapped. "If they are immune to subtle manipulation, we must resort to more direct measures." But Tal shook her head. "Direct confrontation will only strengthen them. History shows that humans thrive under external pressure. If we escalate, we risk uniting them against us." The council was divided. Some argued for abandoning the plan altogether, while others pushed for a more aggressive approach. Humanity's counter-adaptation. While the aliens debated their next move, humanity continued to adapt. Scientists, intrigued by the wine's effects, began studying its chemical composition. They discovered faint traces of an unknown compound, but dismissed it as a harmless anomaly. In the meantime, artists and entrepreneurs seized the opportunity to experiment with the wine. New industries sprang up overnight. Designers created interactive hallucination rooms where visitors could experience the wine's effects in a controlled environment. Musicians wrote songs inspired by the surreal visions they saw while drinking. Filmmakers released avant-garde movies that audiences claimed made more sense when watched under the influence of wild wine. Even ordinary people found new ways to incorporate the wine into their lives. Families held hallucination picnics in the countryside, and communities organized wine meditation sessions to explore the spiritual dimensions of intoxication. Governments, initially alarmed by the wine's popularity, eventually embraced it as a tool for boosting tourism and economic growth. Countries with thriving wine industries saw their economies soar as people flocked to buy bottles of the coveted vintage. The collective's next move. Back on the Zenith Collective's flagship, Tall struggled to salvage her plan. She summoned the brightest minds in the galaxy to brainstorm a solution. "We need to understand them better," she said. "If we can decipher the root of their resilience, we can exploit it." The Council agreed to send a reconnaissance team to Earth. Disguised as humans, the team would infiltrate key cultural hubs to observe humanity's response to the wine firsthand. A visit to the source. The reconnaissance team began their mission in Tuscany, where the wild wine craze had reached its zenith. They posed as journalists covering the wine festival, blending seamlessly into the throngs of revelers. Their leader, Romal, approached a jovial sommelier who was pouring wine for a crowd. "Tell me," Romal asked, masking their alien nature with a convincing human guise, "why do humans care so much about wine?" The sommelier laughed, his cheeks rosy with drink. "Wine isn't just a drink," he said. "It's history, art, and emotion in a glass. It brings people together. And this new vintage? It's something special. It makes you feel alive." "Alive," Romal repeated, puzzled. "Yes," the sommelier said with a grin. "You see things differently. You connect with people in ways you never imagined. It's like magic." The team observed similar sentiments from other humans they interviewed. For them, the wine was more than a beverage. It was a catalyst for joy, creativity, and connection. The collective's realization. When the reconnaissance team returned to the flagship, they shared their findings with the Council. The conclusion was clear. The plan had backfired because it failed to account for humanity's unique ability to adapt. "They are not like us," Tal admitted during a debriefing. "What we see as chaos, they see as opportunity. Their strength lies in their unpredictability and their capacity to find meaning in the absurd." The Council was forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. Humanity could not be defeated through conventional means. Their resilience, creativity, and unity made them far more formidable than anyone had anticipated. In the end, the Zenith Collective decided to abandon their plan and focus on understanding humanity instead. The poisoned wine, once a weapon of sabotage, had become a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience, a reminder that sometimes the greatest strength lies in embracing the unknown. The Zenith Collective had failed. Their subtle attack on humanity's wine had backfired spectacularly, not only failing to destabilize Earth, but inadvertently sparking a cultural renaissance. In the aftermath of this unexpected outcome, the collective found itself at a crossroads. To ensure humanity did not pose a future threat, the collective's council debated their options. Some still advocated for outright confrontation, but others, particularly Tal, argued for a different approach. "If direct measures are futile, perhaps understanding them is the key," Tal said. "We must study them not as adversaries, but as a species unlike any other." This decision led to an extraordinary and unprecedented act, an invitation to humanity. The Zenith Collective requested a delegation of humans to visit their flagship, ostensibly for a cultural. Unbeknownst to the humans, the real goal was to uncover the root of their baffling adaptability. What was it about humanity that allowed them to turn poison into art, madness into joy, and adversity into strength? The human delegation. The chosen human delegation reflected the diversity of Earth. It included a historian named Dr. Elena Harcourt, a neuroscientist named Dr. Raj Patel, a diplomat named James Carr, and, to the alien surprise, Clara Ramos, a world-renowned mixologist. When Clara received the invitation, she was skeptical. "Aliens want to learn about our drinks," she laughed. "They should try my galactic mule." The delegation arrived aboard the Zenith Collective's flagship, an enormous structure of crystalline spires and shimmering energy fields. The aliens, with their various forms, reptilian, insectoid, crystalline, and amorphous, watched the humans with a mixture of curiosity and wariness. Tal greeted them personally. Her emerald scales glittered under the chamber's ambient light. "Welcome, humans," she said. "We are eager to learn from your unique perspectives. A lesson in humanity." The first few days were filled with formal exchanges. Dr. Harcourt gave a lecture on the cultural significance of wine throughout human history, tracing its origins from ancient Mesopotamia to modern-day celebrations. "It's not just a drink," she explained. "It's a vessel for memory and connection. Every glass of wine carries the weight of history and the promise of shared moments." Dr. Patel presented research on humanity's neurological response to alcohol and how it fostered social bonding and creativity. "Our brains are wired to adapt," he concluded. "What others see as a toxin, we see as an opportunity to connect and innovate." The Zenith Collective listened intently, but it was Clara who truly captured their attention. On the fourth day, she set up a portable bar in the central atrium of the flagship. "You've been studying our wine," she said, lining up bottles and mixers. "But wine is just the beginning. Let me show you what humans are really capable of. A taste of humanity." Clara began with simple cocktails, explaining the history and significance of each one. She made a martini, describing its association with elegance and sophistication. She crafted a mojito, tying it to tales of exploration and adventure. The aliens watched, their many eyes and sensory appendages focused intently. When Clara finished her first drink, she handed it to Romal, the crystalline representative. "Try it," she urged. Romal hesitated before taking a cautious sip. His crystalline structure vibrated, emitting a soft hum. "Fascinating," he said. "The flavors, they resonate like harmonic waves. It is both invigorating and soothing." Encouraged by Romal's reaction, the other aliens sampled the drinks. Nvar, the insectoid delegate, was particularly fond of a smoky mezcal cocktail. "It burns, yet it compels," he said, clicking his mandibles in approval. Clara then moved on to more complex creations. She made a flaming shot for Tal, explaining how humans use fire to symbolize transformation. Tal's scales shimmered brighter as she drank. "It is as though the liquid itself evolves," she marveled. The piece de resistance was Clara's signature drink, the Galactic Mule. It combined earth-based ingredients like ginger beer and vodka with exotic fruits and spices she'd acquired from alien markets. The result was a drink that bridged worlds. "This," Clara said, raising her glass, "is what humanity does best. We take what we're given, whether it's wine, poison, or chaos, and we make something extraordinary, the collective's epiphany." For the first time, the Zenith Collective began to see humanity not as a threat, but as a source of inspiration. Their ability to adapt, create, and thrive in the face of adversity was not a weakness, but a profound strength. "They are alchemists," Romal said. "They turn disorder into harmony, destruction into beauty." Tal, who had once championed the plan to poison humanity, now found herself in awe of their resilience. "We sought to undermine them," she admitted. "Instead, they have shown us how to grow stronger." The council convened once more, this time to propose a new course of action, a new alliance. The Zenith Collective extended an offer of partnership to humanity. Together, they would embark on a cultural exchange, blending the best of their worlds to create something truly unique. Humanity's gift for adaptation and the collective's advanced technologies would pave the way for unprecedented collaboration. The poison wine, once a symbol of sabotage, became a symbol of unity. Clara and her alien counterparts worked together to create new beverages that combined ingredients and traditions from across the galaxy. These drinks became a sensation, not just on Earth but throughout the Concord. Bars and restaurants sprang up on distant planets, serving cocktails that told the story of humanity's improbable rise and the collective's newfound respect for their tenacity. The galactic mule became a universal favorite, its name a reminder of the day humans turned poison into partnership, a toast to the future. Years later, at a grand celebration marking the anniversary of humanity's entry into the Concord, Tall raised a glass. The crowd, a mix of humans and aliens, fell silent. To humanity, she said, her voice echoing through the hall. You have taught us that strength lies not in avoiding chaos, but in embracing it. Here's to a future where we create, adapt, and thrive together. The room erupted in cheers as glasses clinked, laughter rang out, and the galaxy drank as one.